All right. Let's see if everything's working. Cool. All right, welcome to the stream, everyone. Good to see you. Hello, Neozoid. How you doing? What is the game name? Don't have a name yet, but we'll figure that out later. Excuse me. So there's a lot of work to do, and yeah, we're gonna just blow through this. So for those that don't know, the theme for Ludum Dare 53 is delivery, and my game is what you see here. You are a knight or a paladin of some sort, and your goal is to deliver these demons back to hell by punching them. So there's a variety of things you can do. You can do an uppercut attack, which goes straight up in the air, and then you can hold left mouse button to send a punch in a specific direction and send the demons flying back into the pit. I added this morning a way for demons to collide with each other while you punch them, so you can knock them out of the air, which is going to be useful when I introduce flying enemies. And then you can see that these little balls here, which are very rough, but they are projectiles. And what happens when you get hit by a projectile is you get knocked back. And so the idea of the game is that you're going to want to knock the demons into the pit before they knock you into the pit. So the pit is sort of the fail condition for everyone. And so you want to stay out of it, but put the demons inside of it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. There's a ton of work to do still. And yeah, so I'm going to be working on that today. So yeah, it'll be a fun stream. Hello, Cheesem. Hello, RNV. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. One other thing to mention is that I've got, I don't know if you can see it on the stream, maybe you can't. There's an experience bar at the bottom, which is going to be used for upgrades. So it'll be a timed game where you have, like, a game is 5 minutes long, and you have to basically become stronger than the enemies during that 5-minute time period before the enemies become stronger than you. Kind of like Vampire Survivor style difficulty, where it just gradually gets more difficult, and so you need to be efficient in terms of getting your upgrades, you know. So I'm noticing one issue that I want to fix here, which is that I don't believe gravity is being applied when they're knocked out. Yeah. Velocity.y plus equals gravity times delta. Okay, I think I just need that because they were becoming, I guess, airborne for a split second while on the ground, which was causing issues, so. All right. So that's a game idea. Got to figure out what to work on next. So let's control the enemy spawns a little bit more tightly. Right now they're just spawning on fixed intervals, but what we want to do is we want to set a cap for the number of enemies that can be in the level, but then also make the simultaneous amount of enemies go up over time. So let's do that. There is no name, Neozoid. Not yet. Already looks super juicy. Thank you. All right, so let us do... What are we doing? Oh, yeah, we're going to change the difficulty of the game here. So what we have in our main is there's these two spawners right here, which I believe right now are just... Yeah, they have their own timers and they're spawning things. I actually want to do that in the game manager. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to onReady var spawners, and this is going to be a type of I guess we can call this spawner. Although maybe this doesn't work. Let's just well, let's see if it works. So I'm going to add a class name here, spawner, and then for my game manager, I'm going to say spawner array. Is that how you do arrays? Is it like this? Oh, okay. So let's go to our main. Is this going to work? It doesn't work. Something's very wrong here. Oh. First of all, this has to be an export. Spawners, array, spawner. Okay, can I assign these now? Nope, okay. So that doesn't work. So we're gonna have to do an array of node path instead. Cannot. Attempted to set a variable of type node path into a type array of type object. What are you talking about? Oh boy, this is just gonna be difficult. All right, we're gonna do it the easier way then. To get a reference to all the spawners, all we're gonna do is we're gonna add them to the spawner group. Okay, so in our game manager, what we're gonna do is we're just going to say, create a function called setup spawners. And in here, let's create that function. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say var spawners is equal to get node in group, or get tree. Goodness, I can't type today. All right, get tree, get nodes in group. And then spawner. And I might as well just assign this here. So I'll say var spawners. Is that gonna work? That might crash. Can I do that? Oh, Godot, with your typing. Hello, Karthik. Do you save your streams? Yes, Pugni. There are VODs after the stream is over. This punch thing kind of looks like Rayman Legends. Marcos, I tried to use Godot 4 on Linux. Quite buggy, and one bug input when stop character. Let's see, move. Oh, I see. So the input stopped getting received at random intervals. Yeah, it's still a little bit buggy, but it's good enough for my uses. So spawners, is this even gonna work? Let's see. Yeah, that crashes. Goodness. Okay, well, we'll just set it to just a plain old array. So we got our spawners here. So now what do we need to do? We need to say, let's create a max enemies. Let's set it to 3 at first. And then var enemies per 15 ticks. Let's just say every 15 seconds the number of enemies goes up by 1. That should work. Cool, let's go to our spawners here, and we're gonna get rid of this timer. The spawners are no longer gonna have timers. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a random spawner and then call spawn on it. And that'll probably be good. So we've got our spawners. So now what we need to do is we need to create a timer probably for the game manager. Let's create this called spawn timer. It's a timer, and then we need to name it spawn timer. Okay, so let's do this. Spawn timer, we'll set it to auto start. We'll make it go every 2 seconds and not one shot. So in here, on ready var spawn timer, we'll assign that in an on ready. Spawn timer dot timeout dot connect on spawn timer timeout. Perfect. On spawn timer timeout. So we're going to say var spawner is equal to spawners dot pick random. And then we're going to call spawner dot spawn. And we'll do this while we need to keep track of the current enemies. Var current enemies equals 0. So while current enemies is less than max enemies, we're going to pick a random spawner and then call spawn. And we also need to put the current enemies up by 1 when that happens. And then when the enemy gets banished, we need to say current enemies minus equals 1. Okay, so that should be okay. Now we need to increase the number of enemies that are spawning every 15 seconds. So this update difficulty here, what we can do is we can say, excuse me, if current ticks mod 15 is equal to 0. So if the current tick that we're on is divisible by 15 evenly, then we can say max enemies plus equals 1. Hello, Fefnex. Haven't been on one of your streams in ages. Feels good to be back. Yeah, glad to have you. Welcome, welcome. Has anyone tried learning Godot through ChatGPT? I gave it a shader to write in Godot's shading language, and it did pretty well. But yeah, I haven't done anything with it beyond that for Godot. Give me 1 second. I need to go get some water real quick. All right. Sorry about that. So let's see if this is working now. Let's go ahead and go in. We've already got some enemies there, so let's get rid of those enemies. Okay, there's 3 enemies. It should stay at 3 enemies for a while. If I chuck them into the pit, they should keep spawning. Unfortunately, I don't have a count of the time on the screen anywhere, but we should see... Yeah, there's 4 enemies right there. Oops. So that means that we'll have up to 23 enemies when you get to 5 minutes. So there will be up to 20 enemies on the screen at once. And I might reduce this spawn interval here to 1 second instead, just to make it a little bit more responsive. Oops, I missed him. All right, obviously we got to add some for enemies. Some animations and whatnot. Animation, especially for the particle or the projectile coming up. Lots of stuff to do. Maybe we start animating the enemies now, just to get that going. Okay, so add increasing enemy difficulty. So I'm just going to commit that. Does Godot get really buggy after you add a new asset? 4.0 made the engine so hard to use. You mean like from the asset library? I haven't used that at all. Will there be different enemy types? Yes, there will be. If I can get it done in time. Demon.a sprite. So basically what we need to do is cut this guy up. So let's get that done. So this is arm left. Cool. All right, so let's take a look at this. That's his face, so let's grab his face. Head. Okay, so we've got the arm left, the head. So here's the body. So I guess I'll just add some outlines here. That'll work. All right, there's our body. Here's his feet. And we can use the same asset for both feet, but all right, and then we'll just add an outline to this real quick. Perfect. Okay, and then the last thing is the arm, which we can we copy it? Maybe we can't. So let's just create a rough shape for it and call it good. So arm right. So now I gotta reorder all of this stuff. Oh, is it in the proper order already? Did I accidentally make it the correct draw order? Wow. Wow, indeed. All right, then. So he's all cut up. And so now what we got to do is export all this. So scripts, export layers, and let's go. All right, into the daemon we go. Let's get rid of all these collision shapes here so we can actually see what's going on. All right, perfect. Visuals. So we've got the center marker, we've got the sprite 2D, so we need to add just a bunch of sprite 2Ds here. All right, so resources, or sorry, assets daemon. We're gonna take that head, slap it in there. Give it a reasonable pivot offset. Something like that. Okay. So we're going to call that header, head, and then basically just slot that right on top of the art as it exists. There we go. So that's the head. Let's make this one the body, which needs to go behind the head. Body. Again, we'll give it a reasonable pivot offset. There we go. I think it just goes right there. Cool. All right, let's do arm left now. That's probably a good pivot offset there. Cool. So this is a little bit repetitive, but it has to be done. All right, so then the arm right needs to go behind everything. So let me just make sure it's going well so far. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. And then we need the foot left. Just importing sprite SFX. Oh, I see. No, I haven't had any issues with importing anything. My use case is pretty simple, though. Okay, so foot left. Okay, there's the foot. That foot is going to have to probably go... Do I want it? I don't want it above the arm, so right there probably. And then, yeah, let's do foot right. And even though it's basically the same art, I'm still going to just use the foot right image here just in case if I change it in the future, it'll just automatically work. Okay, so I'm going to put this sprite on top of everything. All right, so we've got it perfectly matching. So you can see that this is the full sprite here. And if I turn on all these individual parts and then toggle this sprite, there's no difference, which means that I did it correctly. All right, so let's go ahead and add a child node animation player. Slap that on up there. New, we're gonna create a run animation. And we're just gonna do something very quick and very dirty. How's everyone doing this morning? Anyone else working on Ludum Dare? So I'm going to keyframe this position here and this rotation here. We're going to give it 0.4 second. How long was the player? Yeah, the player is a 0.4 second run animation too. So we'll go with that. So we'll say 0.4, give it a snap of 0.05 seconds. Cool. So position for the head, we'll go up maybe like so. And then come back down. Gotta loop this. How much time do you have left? Well, we'll see. So the jam ends tomorrow at 9 p.m. So in what, 30 some hours? The compo ends tonight at 9 p.m. So we'll see if I feel like the game's in a good spot and I can throw together my own sound effects and everything, I may enter this game for the compo, but if not, then I will take the extra time and enter it for the jam. My guess is that I'm going to have to enter it for the jam, but we're going to see. Working on a solo project right now, not for Ludum Dare though. Gotcha. Welcome, Dines. I am doing well, thank you. I am doing well. We got a nice little chill morning. It's raining outside. Got the lo-fi beats. You know what I'm saying? So this animation, the nice thing about this sprite being so small is that I can get away with doing a very poor animation. Simply because I basically just need to have motion. That's basically the only requirement to making the animation look good. So that's what's nice about this. And by good, I mean passable. Okay, so arm left. going to animate this too. So the arm left position, we're going to make it go over to -5 or something like that. Maybe that's too far. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we make it go up, though, a little bit. Okay. Make them very goofy looking little guys. Oh, that kind of makes me think that maybe he should do like a little hop or something instead of like a typical run animation. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, let's do... I'm just going to get the foot left now and see what that looks like. That's an awesome way to make animations. I agree. It's super easy. Doesn't take a whole lot of time and effort. You can get something passable working. It's just, yeah, it's just really good. Look at him hopping. Now I kind of want to, I should probably move him up even more, right? Like I should actually physically move him up. That would require me to edit all of these keyframes, unless I did something nasty like this. There we go. Look at him go. He's so cute. Ugh, gotta send him back to hell though. Sorry, little buddy. Okay. So basically for the foot left and the arm left, I'm basically going to copy those keyframes, except they're going to be reversed. So this is still going to be 2 -5, and then the rotation -90. Oh, he's so happy-go-lucky. Okay, -2, so -2 here. Just editing keyframes, you know what it is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So arm left, we're going to do the same thing. Just copy these keyframes. Oops. Oops. Can I reorder these? No. Be nice to put the arms tracks together. But if I can't do that, then I can't do that. 10 degrees, so this will be -10 degrees. And then here, position -2, -7. So that's -7 there. And then 25 degrees. Let's do it. Okay, so I believe that's the last one I had to do. I'm not seeing a whole lot of motion here. Did I do something wrong here? I did indeed. This has to be -90. All right, let's just throw on autoplay here and we'll just see if that even looks good in the game. Oh my goodness. Look at how cute that guy is. Into the pit of hell, sir. Oh. That's not good. My game just froze. I'm gonna have to figure out what that crash is coming from. Node not found, visual sprite 2D. Oh, is that what I'm missing? Enter state knockout. Oh, I see. So let's call this one visuals root. And then I'm going to need to on ready. Am I even using this anywhere? Oh, maybe not. Sorry, I got to figure out what's going on here. Sprite rotation, enter state knockout. Okay. Visuals root. Do I have a leave state knockout? Okay, yeah, visuals root. Okay. Sorry, just got to fix this up real quick, and then I can take a look. I know there's some chats here. Visuals root. Okay. Oh, they're still animating. Can the enemies attack you? So, kind of. I thought it would be interesting with this game, and after brainstorming with a friend, to make it so that the goal of both the enemies and the player is to knock each other into the pit. And so these enemies shoot little projectiles that when they hit you, they actually just knock you back. So what you're essentially going to be doing is trying not to get knocked into the pit while you're simultaneously trying to knock enemies into the pit. So that's kind of the loose attack that enemies can do. And I want to introduce other enemy types that can do different types of attacks. And obviously you can fail the jumps. So it's kind of like like the classic platformer games where you've got projectiles that just kind of fly across the screen, right? And they don't have gravity or anything. So it's just like a constant thing you have to dodge. I have to work on making those projectiles a little bit more visible and probably a little bit more powerful as well. There's a lot of work to do. That's why I'm not thinking I'm going to get it done today, but should probably not be able to spam the punch either, but oh, this is a new strategy. Glide. Time slows down when you oh, that's interesting. I can actually get more distance out of punching as well. Why does that happen? Oh, because yeah. So when the punch is done, I set the velocity to 0, the velocity in the Y. And the reason is because as soon as you punch, it immediately terminates your jump, so you don't go any higher. And the reason for that is because it adds to the player control, right? Like, I don't want to keep going up after I've done my attack. It just feels weird. So that's the reason why I can do this. Now, I could introduce a cooldown for the punch, but I'd rather find a different way to solve that problem, if possible. Man, I don't know about this game. There's a lot of questionable design problems to fix. Maybe you can make a spirit enemy that can possess the player for a second and make them walk towards the pit. That's interesting. Yeah, my friend suggested like a vortex or something, like a black hole. So it's kind of in the same vein where it pulls the player, but you don't explicitly lose control. Can make a super punch if you hold the attack button. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm having a really difficult time just like figuring out, okay, what is absolutely necessary to have in the game to make it a good experience. So, in any case, I think this animation looks okay. I keep getting this weird issue. Let me do just restart. Godot 4 is buggy indeed. I could use 4.0.3 RC1 perhaps. which just came out. Is the audio done? Okay. Oh, there we go. So we've got this animation player with this run animation. We need a different... I want an animation where he's like flailing around, which is like while he's in the air. Make the punch only knock enemies into the air if it's fully charged. Could do that. So an airborne property track. What do I want to do when it's airborne? So we're going to add the position. We're going to add the rotation. I think maybe just rotation. So same deal. So let me delete that. So rotation, I'm thinking just like very exaggerated rotations here. Yeah, something like that. And then let's just do a rotation here. Maybe just alternate some of these so they're not so in lockstep. Yeah, that works. I'm trying to do this quick and dirty so that way I'm not getting sucked into doing animations for several hours because I have precious time. Precious little time, I should say. That works. Maybe we'll make the body a little bit more exaggerated. And maybe slightly different. We'll offset the time a little bit. So we'll delete that key. Yeah, just to break up some of the monotony of this animation here. That might be too much. By the way, if you guys want to learn how to make a game in Godot 4, you can check out my Udemy course. The link for that is in the description below. So give it a shot. Usually Udemy will give you a nice discount on that if you've never taken a Udemy course before. So, yeah. I think I'm going to offset this one as well. So we'll start it at -20. Yep, that's looking pretty good. And then I just have the right arm to animate. We're having fun. We're having fun. That might not be exaggerated enough, but we're going to see. All right, then. Let's grab a reference to that animation player. Glad to finally catch a live stream digging this demon character. Thank you. Thank you, Guillermo. You're doing LD. I tried to set up CI again, and it still hates me. Are you using Godot Export, which is my GitHub action to export Godot games? Another plug. That one's free though. That one's MIT licensed, so that's purely for everyone's use. Highly recommend your Vampire Survivors course. Really opened my eyes on how to build a project properly. Thank you, Guillermo. I appreciate that. I pronounced the name correctly, GG. Well, there's a guy on my team at work that has a similar name. So that's the only that's the only reason I know how to do it. So we're going to grab the animation player here. And what are we going to do with that animation player? So the animation player, we need to play the correct animation. So when we enter the state normal, we need the animation player to play, what is it, run? Yeah. And then when we enter state airborne, so I need to add this first of all. Enter state normal. Okay, same for enter state punch. So animation player dot play airborne. So I don't have an enter state airborne, so let's do this one. And then enter state knockout. Let's just play the reset animation. Okay. So I need to add an enter state airborne here. All right, let's see if that works. Yeah, I think that's looking all right. I think it just needs to be a little bit more exaggerated, like I said. So, excuse me. We're going to go ahead and do that. So we're just going to bump everything up. Let's just go for 45 degrees. Everywhere that I'm using 20. We'll just go for 45 degrees. Man, why is my voice going all of a sudden? I'm supposed to have work tomorrow, but I might ask for the day off to finish this. Work buddies, if you're watching this, I'm sorry for the last minute notice. All right, that's much better, I think. Let's go check it out. Oh yeah, look at that. Haha. It looks like he's flailing wildly, and then they hit another one. Okay. I'm always shocked at how much adding animations can add. Oh, and they even do that when they jump, too. That's so funny. I wasn't even thinking about that. That's fine, though. Woo! Ooh, got the three-pointer. So yeah, there's some visibility issues here. It's not very easy to see the projectiles. And there's a lot of weird jankiness that I can fix, but yeah, okay. This is shaping up pretty decently. Gotta flip them to face the right direction. That's probably the next thing to do. I'm the one that opened the issue about the shader params bug. Oh, did that end up getting resolved? Hello, Sneaky, welcome. Will I make my own music? It depends. If I think I can submit the game for the compo in less than 12 hours, then I will give that a shot because that's what's required for the compo. But if not, I still might give it a shot, but it's likely that I won't. Second puberty. No, please. Any more Udemy courses in the works? Not at the moment, no. Have projectiles glow. I'm gonna add like particles or something to the projectiles. Okay, nice, bad cop, yeah. Good. So let's make this guy face the right direction here. I'm kind of thinking like update facing. Well, let's just do this. Visuals dot scale is equal to, I always forget. I think it's vector 2 -1 1 if velocity dot x is less than 0, else vector 2.1. All right. So now we call update facing in the state normal here. And we'll also do it in the state punched. There's a lot of redundancy here, but not going to worry about that. All right, let's see if that works. Okay, now they're flipping properly. The tricky part is, like, if I have upgrades when leveling up, what might happen is you'll get interrupted while you're in the middle of, like, a combo or something. So I gotta really think about this gameplay loop a little bit more. Maybe the upgrades are just automatic, so there's a fixed number of upgrades that you just get when you level up. Whoa, goodbye. Interesting. I think there's a bug here. Let's see. I think if you're in the state, if the punched, wow, if I could talk, that'd be great. If the demon is in the punched state or in the knockout state, then it shouldn't be affected by other flying demons. So basically, when you punch a demon, it becomes a projectile as well, and it knocks out other demons. But there are certain states where that shouldn't happen. So if the demon's already knocked out, it shouldn't be knocked out again by a flying demon. And if it's flying itself, then it shouldn't be knocked out. I love jumping over them like this and then smacking them down. Okay, this is shaping up pretty decently. Anyone have any ideas for how I can handle the upgrades? So you level up by, you know, putting a certain number of demons into the pit. I can work on the visuals a little bit before we continue on the gameplay elements as well. Oh! I do need to handle player death as well. So maybe handling player death is an appropriate thing to do for now. Okay, let me commit this. So added demon animations. Cool. All right. Give me 30 seconds. Got to take a bio break, and then we'll be back to work on the player death condition. All right, we're back. Attack cooldown, maybe turrets that shoot every couple of seconds, or straight up less knockback per upgrade. Those are all good ideas. All right, so player death conditions. So what I want to do is, I still want the player to have health so that if you fall into the pit, it's not an instant death. So what I want to happen is the player hits the pit. Ideally, you know, the game gets paused, the player gets raised out of the pit and then dropped on the side. And then everything continues. So let's do that. So pit. Do I want to detect that in the player? Probably, right? What the heck happened? Oh. So let me take a look at the pit here. The pit is looking for the enemy hurt box. Okay, so I need to put this on its own layer. So there's the pit. So it exists on the 3 layer. Okay, so then in the player, hurt box area. Cool, yeah, so we can look at the hurt box area here. Maybe we'll have the hurt box area look for the pit as well. No, I'm just gonna do another area. I don't care. We're gonna just duplicate it. YOLO. So let's see. Pit area. Pit area. Okay. So we're going to have to add another state, probably for resurrecting or something like that. Let's create a function down here. Func on pit area entered. Other area. I don't care about this other area. So add an underscore so Godot doesn't warn about that. And then state machine. Change state. We're going to need a number of HP too. So let's say current HP equals 3. Current HP minus equals 1. We're going to change into the resurrect state. And let's add that. So state machine dot add states. State resurrect. Enter state resurrect. Leave state resurrect. If any of you are interested in the state machine implementation that I'm using, I went over this in yesterday's stream, so you can look at that VOD. I'll probably also end up cleaning it up and adding it to my Godot add-ons GitHub repository so that it's available. Yeah, basically the way that the state machine works is it takes callables, and it uses callables that point to your state functions as the states themselves. So it's like minimal setup, and I think it's easy to reason about, and it's flexible enough to do everything that you need it to do. So state knockback, here we go. Func enter state resurrect pass state resurrect pass leave state resurrect. All right. So when we enter the state resurrect, I might as well move that HP decrementation in here. So now, state resurrect, what am I going to do? What's going to happen is I need to pick a random point. I suppose it doesn't have to be a random point. What I can do is just kind of cheat and add some marker 2Ds here. So I'm going to call this I'm going to add this to a group called resurrect marker apex. So we'll add that, and then I'll duplicate this. Cool. And then we're going to say, we're going to call this one resurrect marker drop point. We'll just call it resurrect marker, actually. And then this one as well. So, not a super clean implementation, but easy enough. So those are our resurrection markers. And so what I can do then is I can, in my enter state resurrect, let's create, well, I guess we can create a tween, right? We might as well just create a tween, yeah. So we're going to say var tween is equal to create tween. Let's set the velocity to 0 as well. We'll just reset all this stuff. Var tween equals create tween. Let's do this. Tween dot set interval, or tween interval rather. 0.25. Tween dot tween property. Self global position. Goodness, my voice is going. Let's say var apex marker is equal to get tree dot get first node in group. Resurrect apex, resurrect marker apex, okay. Cool. And then var drop marker equals get tree dot get nodes in group, resurrect marker dot pick random. Cool. So we're going to go to the global position of the apex dot global position. Oh, it's called apex marker. We'll do 0.5 seconds, I guess. And then tween property, self, global position, drop marker dot global position, 0.5. And then what I'm going to do is tween callback. Can I do this? Can I pass in a lambda here? Sweet. All right. So what I'm basically doing here is at the end of the tween, I'm changing the player back into the normal state, and that will mean that he'll drop down. Let's see. It would be hilarious if there was a hoop like in basketball that you're trying to get them into, or some kind of cool particle explosion. Yes, there will be lots of visual effects. I want to work on that probably today, maybe on today's stream, but will this game have a boss? Probably not. Bob Rober. The pit could spit up XP orbs to the opposite side of the kill to incentivize the player to jump back and forth. That is an interesting idea. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah. That's very cool. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Bob Rober and Frizzy. Marcos, maybe combo system, how much faster throw demons into the pit, gain more XP. I could do that. I'm kind of hesitant to punish the player for being too slow. Like there's already a difficulty curve that increases. So only the OGs remember when the marker 2D was called point 2D. Yeah, for sure. I think it was, I don't know. I prefer the, actually it was called position 2D, wasn't it? So you don't even know. I'm kidding. I mean, it was called position 2D, but finish setting up the Lakitu in Mario Kart. Yeah, that's kind of where I got the idea from. All right, let's see if it works. Okay. That did not work. Did I connect? Oh, I didn't connect the pit area. Goodness, I hate how that does that. Okay, that still didn't work. Why did that not work? Pit area. It's looking for the... Oh, it's looking... It has to look for the pit. There we go. There we go. Okay, so obviously that's very abrupt, so we can do a lot here to make this a little bit nicer. So let's do this. Set transition. Let's do cubic dot set ease type. Do I want to do in or out? Ease. Well, let's try ease out. And then ease in. See what that looks like. Why did I get dropped so fast? It's like my velocity isn't being reset. Maybe I'll just hack it and just say every time the state updates, set the velocity to 0. Okay, so obviously that's not looking good. It's out. Why is that so? I guess cubic is not the best one to use. Let's try sine. And maybe I'll bump this up to 1 second. Cool. Now, one thing I could do is I can make that smoother. Why does that... Do you see how that snaps down super fast sometimes? What the heck is going on? Let's see. Did uppercut. I think it has something to do with this variable here. Leave state airborne. So maybe when I enter the state resurrect, I just need to say did uppercut equals false. I really don't like carrying around variables like that are used across multiple states. That makes things very unwieldy, very fast, but okay, that's passable for now. It's just in place so that way it can be used. Lots of work to do. All right. What should we do next? Do some visuals work, perhaps? I still need to handle the player like lost state, like what happens when the player dies. But I kind of want to work on the presentation a little bit more. Like really polish it up. Because I think in my Game Jams tips video, if you guys have seen that, one of the most important things is just the level of polish. The gameplay can be mediocre, but if it feels and looks really good, then people will give it a higher rating. So I like to focus a lot of my effort on polish. So I might do that. Even the guys on the forums called it a point 2D. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a position 2D. Maybe I'm wrong. Could disable the player collision while resurrecting and remove the apex marker entirely. I could, but I want to make it look like it's coming out of the pit instead of going through the world. Hello, VM. The game is basically you're delivering demons to hell by smacking them back into their pit to hell. That's the game. These guys need a spawn animation too. Bam! Oh, I missed. Oh no! They also tend to bunch up on each other quite a bit. I don't know how I'm going to get around that. I think what I can do, let me fake it. So first of all, what I like to do when you have a lot of entities that are doing the same animation, what I like to do is take the animation player and then randomize its speed scale a little bit. So I'm going to say animation speed scale equals rand f range from 0.9 to 1.1. And that little bit of variation is going to make each entity look unique instead of like they're robotically in sync. And I'm also going to do the same thing for the walk speed. So adjusted walk speed equals walk speed times rand f range 0.9 1.1. Cool. So now wherever I'm using the walk speed, I'll put in the adjusted walk speed instead. Cool. So now there will be some enemies that are slightly faster, which should help break them up a little bit more. These little guys are so funny. So you can see how their animations are a little bit staggered now. Oh, fell into the pit. All right, let's work on the presentation a little bit more. I'm just going to probably spend the rest of the stream focusing on making it look and feel as juicy as possible, because then it doesn't really matter what the gameplay is. People are going to have fun just punching things, which is probably the most important thing at the moment that I can focus on. It is very fun to just punch these guys, if I do say so myself. All right. So let me commit what I did. Add resurrection state. Whoa, this is looking neato burrito. Thank you. Zneaky, you were going to say it looks neato burrito? I really like their design and would love a t-shirt of them. Oh, the demons? I'm really interested in what they will sound like, yeah. Can you add angle to after you were pulled up? I don't know what that means, Zneaky, if you want to clarify. A massive pillar of fire. Yeah, let's do that. Let's work on the pit. I want to work on the punch particles a little bit too. But let's see what we can do. So I'm gonna actually look at Godot shaders. So there's this website, Godot Shaders. I'm wondering if there is like a 2D like platformer water shader or something. I probably could do it myself. Let me think. Do I want to spend the time doing my own water shader? I think the pit is probably very important. The pit to hell is probably very important. And I'm thinking about making it like lava or something. So I probably will spend the time to do that. Do I have good lava colors here? Let's see. I have yellow. And I have this color. That should be fine. And maybe add a little bit of darker red in there. Yeah, those are good lava colors. Okay, let's do it. Time to show you my shader coding prowess. Which is not at all. So, is that a color rectangle? Actually, let's do something different here. I usually use a color rectangle for like just having a blank canvas for shaders, but I think I want to do a placeholder texture instead. What a placeholder texture does is it basically just gives you a texture so that you can do a shader on it. So if I do color, well, let's do discard. So yeah, so you can see that that goes away when I discard it. So we've got our fragment shader here. So what we need is we need a uniform sampler 2D. What's it called? Noise texture. Okay. And then, so uniform, vec4, what do we want to call this? Color 1, and this is a source color. Okay. So I'm going to do this actually real quick. Oh, I did. Okay, never mind. Never mind, I didn't finish that plugin. I was creating a plugin that allows you to import a color palette so that it's available in your color picker here, but apparently I didn't finish it, so never mind. Okay, so now we need this noise texture, so let me do this. New noise texture 2D. We want this to be seamless. And man, my voice is going really fast. Perlin. Increase the frequency just a little bit. So vec4. Or maybe we'll just do float. Noise sample 1 is equal to texture, noise texture, and UV. So now if we just do something simple like if this has to be the red channel, if noise sample 1 is less than or greater than 0.75, I guess, we're going to say color is equal to color 1, else discard. Well, I can't say that that is what I was looking for. What did I do wrong? So this is seamless. Oh, so canvas item, render mode, filter, nearest, is that right? Dang it, I forgot. I forgot how to do this. Is it just filter nearest? There's a way to specify. Okay, hold on. So this is what I'm looking for. Filter. Oh, I got to put it on the texture. Okay. So here, filter nearest, repeat enable. Okay. There we go. Now we need to adjust this frequency. Okay, I'm still doing something wrong here. As for when the player falls down, can you add an angle so the player moves in a ballistic trajectory after it's pulled out? I don't want to do that for the player. I'm doing it for the enemies, though. I don't know why, but the enemy reminded me a bit of Birdo and Mario, but in red. I don't know who Birdo is. Yeah, we'll add screen shake when they go into the pit for sure. Thank you for hanging around, Guillermo. All right. So I got to figure out what's going on here with this texture. I don't usually have this problem. I wonder if it's a problem with the placeholder texture. What happens if I do this? Here, let me try this. Copy this. Add a color rectangle. I just want to see if this works. Yeah, see how different that looks? So it's the same deal, but this is how it looks when it's added to the color rectangle. So I don't know what's going on there. Nevertheless, this is much nicer. Okay. Adjusted UV, we're gonna change the UV based on the type, so equals, or the time rather. UV plus vec2. Let's do 2.0. (1.1) times time. I'm just making up random numbers. Too much. Actually, I probably don't even want it to go vertical. And of course, I changed it so that it only goes vertical. All right, so there's a couple of tricky things. One, I need to make it cut off at the top. Or near the top, rather. Because this is, you can imagine that this is going to be like... What happened? Oh. Goodness. Godot, come on. Focus correctly. Thank you. So trying to make this like the top of the lava where it's like wavy and whatnot. So I need to combine a bunch of different noise samples here to figure out how to get that to work. Don't you scale the UV and the shader maybe? I don't know. Shouldn't be necessary. I suppose I could. Yeah, let's try it. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, so I could scale the UV like you suggested and get it working like that. Cool. All right. So yeah, we need it to be so that the top doesn't render. So that means that there needs to be another, like a clipping of some sort. Let's not worry about that right now. We need a couple of different noise samples here. So we're going to rename this to adjusted UV1. Oh, 2. So wonder what happens if I take the average. I'm kind of guessing here. I know basics about how to use noise, but I'm just kind of guessing in terms of what's going to be good. Oh, do I do 2 plus? Okay. Yeah, so you see we're getting some extra movement in here now. I'm averaging a bunch of different, what you call it? Averaging a couple of different noise textures. So, or noise samples rather. So let's do UV times 6. So this is adjusted UV3. I suppose I could have slammed these all into a single vect3, but okay, so now we've got some lava lamp style kind of stuff going on here. And I can just play with these numbers here. All right. So then if we can layer in other colors as well. So we'll probably just change this. So if it's greater than 0.4. So let's do this. Float average is equal to this. Okay, and then we'll say if average. Hello? Did I do this wrong? Oh. So if average is greater than 0.75, then we'll say color equals color.1. Else if average is greater than 0.5, color equals color2. And let's copy this. Come on. Thank you. Keyboard don't want to cooperate. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Copy, 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 copy. Thank you. Obviously, we're going to have to play with these thresholds a little bit. The trickiest part is going to be figuring out how to like make the top of it have a smooth cutoff. That's going to be the trickiest part, I think. Copy, copy, copy. Got to hit the Control-C 10 times to make sure it works. Okay, so probably need to reverse some of these colors here. Okay, so where the yellow is, I think probably should be red. What? Okay. Godot, man, it's still got a bunch of really awkward issues. Maybe swap. Make this yellow. Oops. Well, now that just looks like watermelon. Top part is just a vertical gradient multiplied into your average, but I want thick, like curves, like waves. Is a gradient going to give me that? Maybe it'll give me that. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just looking at... Is it okay to suggest a thing for your lava top edge? Sure, yeah. Give me a ragged top. Okay, I'll try the vertical gradient. I'll try multiplying. Yeah, I want the top like, yeah, like a clean. There shouldn't be any fading. But we'll see what works. I don't know if this lava... Do I even want to use 3 colors? Do I just want to use just yellow and red? And then maybe I need to reverse them. Do I have another like orange color here that I can use? The closest orange I have is like this pink. That doesn't look too bad. Maybe if I play with the numbers a little bit more. Does that look all right? I think that looks decent. Maybe if do I have white? I have this really bright yellow. Maybe if I mix this really bright yellow in as well, it'll just add a little bit more to it. So, uniform, Vec 4, color 4. Source color. These colors don't mean anything. Color 1, color 2, color 3, color 4. If average greater than 0.7, color equals color 4. Else if adjusted UV 4 noise sample 4. All right, so added a little bit of yellow highlights in there. Oh, look at that. I think that looks pretty decent. What do y'all think? Okay, so let's try the gradient multiplication, I think. So how can I achieve a gradient multiplication? Well, I can use the UV, right? So I can say, let's say float edge multiply is equal to clamp uv.y. Hold on a second. My basic math skills are failing me. Yeah. So I want to do the uv.y divided by 0.1, or maybe 0.05. We're going to clamp it to 0 and 1.0. And now I'm going to say average. Oh. Wait a minute. I need to add that in my if statement. If. How do I add that? Basically, I want this top, so I'm setting up a gradient. So of 0 to 1% for the edge multiply based on if you're 0.05 of the way through the UV in the Y direction. And so I need to multiply that by my average. But the problem is that I have this fallback. So can I just do this? If average is less than 0.1, color equals fact4. Oh, interesting. Why is that happening? Am I not thinking about this correctly? uv.y divided by 0.05. Edge multiply. So if I'm at 0.01 in the y uv, that should give me 0.2, which will multiply that average. What am I doing wrong here? Making the alpha edge separately and set color that A at the end. Oh, I see. So if edge multiply, I don't know why it's not working. There's nothing happening at the top. If edge multiplies less than 1. That doesn't even work. Is there a way to log? I'm doing something wrong here. This doesn't even work. Less than or equal to 1. So it's literally never less than 1. Why is that happening? Okay, I'm going to try this. If uv.y is less than 0.05. Okay, so I'm doing something wrong here. Ah, there we go. Oh, it's because I'm using... Yeah, this... Okay. Interesting. It's because I'm scaling the UV up here, remember? So I'm scaling the UV quite a lot. I don't know why the UV is so different. So now I need to multiply this by the average. I don't know if this is going to work the way I'm doing this. This is not going to work. The raw UV. I don't know how to get the raw UV. I might switch back to a color rectangle because it's easier to reason about. I don't know why. I have this set to 160 by 160. So it should be pretty straightforward. I don't think this multiply is going to work anyway. Float cutoff equals a times edge multiply. If a is less than 0.5. I'm just throwing together some numbers. Okay, I got something going on here. Actually, I have no clue why that's working. If average less than 0.1. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let's get rid of this. That was kind of producing what I wanted. Right here. Except with the background color. So I don't know how to fix that. Average times equals edge multiply. Let's get rid of that. I wish I could log in shaders to see what's going on, but I don't know what's going on here. This A is literally never... Okay. So this A is always 1, so this edge multiply is always 1. Why is that? And I can't even do something like if UV dot... Was the edge just too thin before? Well, I just don't want this hard edge up here. That's all. We're trying to get rid of the hard edge. Maybe the shader blend mode is not able to be alpha tested clipped. No, it should be. Should be fine. I just got to figure out why this edge multiply is always 1. UV.Y. I'm clamping. Am I using clamp correctly? Clamp. Yeah. UV.Y divided by 0.9. So let's say the UV is 0.5 divided by 0.9. That will give me yeah. For some reason, this is always 1. Is there a reason why that's happening? I can do that, but I do need to multiply it, I think. Or by the average. So average. Okay. See, that's kind of like what I'm going for. So if cutoff is less than 0.5 and uv.y is less than... I have no clue why this isn't working. Oh, wait. Oh, you know what? Is the UV wrapping? Is that what's going on? Oh. The UV is... Interesting. So the UV is incrementing. Okay. Okay. Now, why is it producing this hard edge here, though? That's bizarre. If cutoff is less than 7 and uv.y is less than 1. Oh, I guess. That's weird. Am I thinking about this wrong? If the cutoff is less than 0.7, which is just an arbitrary number, so I'm taking the average, multiplying it by this edge multiply. If that's less than 0.7 and the UV is less than 1, then make it transparent. If I get rid of that, it affects the whole thing, which actually it shouldn't. The edge multiply. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think I just don't have enough data here. It was looking nice, yeah. I don't think I have enough data. I think what I need to do is do another noise sample. So I think somebody suggested doing a noise sample. So let's say surface UV, and we'll do something like UV times 0.1, and then we'll make it a little bit more violent in terms of how. Let's do surface noise sample equals texture noise texture surface UV dot R. Okay, so cutoff is surface noise sample that doesn't work. This edge multiply is literally just not correct. It should be clamped to 1, which means that do I have to do 1.0 minus? Okay. Yeah, I have no clue what's going on here. I don't know how to make this work. I don't know how to make it only affect this top portion. I'm using the UV, but that's just not working at all. That is just not working at all. Is this placeholder texture like just being really weird or something? Okay, well, let's try your original suggestion and do a gradient. Although, is a gradient going to help? I think a gradient's going to have the same problem. The fundamental problem is that I'm mapping all values of the average from 0 to 1 to a color, but then I'm trying to like further modify the color based on the top section. I don't know what the incoming UV is. That's part of what's confusing, is like the UV is coming in at greater than 1 sometimes. All right, let's do this. Do I have like a texture? Yeah, I have no clue how to make this work. I have absolutely no idea. If maybe deduct another rectangle that was modified with something from this one, leaving this one without the edge. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. Oops. So the average... I'm just going to play around with some stuff here. There we go. What is that? Did it happen? Okay. I'm just taking the average, multiplying it by the uv.y, and checking if it's less than some number. All right, well, I guess that works. Oh my goodness. Add a little bit of a outline there at the top, which probably I can use for color 1. Or maybe it should be color 4. Ooh, yeah. So it's got like a top section. All right. I might want to bump this up, actually. Because as I bump it up, it creates a better, or a more... Yeah, maybe the way I had it was fine. All right. We figured it out. We got it. Thank you for the help, everyone. Hello, Sop. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for all your suggestions, everyone. We got it. So now we got to see what it looks like in the game. Ooh, look at that. All right. Probably need to make it a little bit more expressed. I don't want to waste too much time on this, but... Cool. And I wonder, I'm going to change some of the scaling here. I'm going to change some of this scaling, so let's just decrement everything by 0.02. Just to make every chunk bigger, a little bit more visible. There we go. I think that's better. We can make that top part thicker as well. All right. I might make the red a little bit less prominent. Um, I'm just trying to figure out what a good setting for this is. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Could play with the color some more too. Maybe the main color should be red instead. You win, yeah, Sneaky. No, thank you for your help, Wallosaurus. Not confusing at all. It was nice to bounce ideas off of everyone. Pixelated shader, maybe. Red on the outline looks more dangerous, I think. So let's see. Red on the outline. Red on the outline. And then I might switch these around, so... make red the major color. And make yellow maybe red is too much. Actually, maybe not. What do you guys think? Red as the most common color in the lava, or the yellow? I think I probably need to switch around some other colors too. So color 3. Color 3 needs to be where color 4 is. Does that lava look better? Yellow has my vote. What does everyone think? Yellow by far. All right, everyone's saying yellow. For those of you who are team red, speak now or forever hold your peace. Yellow, okay. Yellow is unanimous. Now to see if I can undo my way back to it. There we go. All right. Looking great. Oops. Get got. All right. I'm getting hungry, but I do want to do a little bit more visuals development with you all. So give me a 2-minute break, and I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll continue on doing some visuals work. So thanks again for all your help. If you want to learn how to make a game in Godot 4, you can check out my Udemy course, link in the description below. And you can wishlist my game Gunforged on Steam. That's not this game, but a game that's upcoming. So I'll be back in 2 minutes, and we'll do some more visuals work. All right, welcome back. Well, welcome back to me. I'm back. Let's continue on with some visual development. So I'm going to say added pit shader. So we'll commit that. All right. So let's play the game. So we need effects when the enemy dies. Screen shake and whatnot. Particles going up. Send them back into the pit of hell. Also, this pit probably needs to be a lot bigger. So I'm hoping that this isn't gonna really mess things up when I change this, but here we go. Oh no, seems fine. That's honestly surprising. Let's make the visual line up a little bit more. Cool. So now there's no bottom. Okay, that's step one. Let's do some particles. So let's say pit explosion particles. What are we doing? Effect. Here we go. GPU particles. Where's my punch particles? We're gonna save this material. Punch particles. This has to be particles. So animated particles. Canvas material. Save that. Okay. So now when I go here, I can do canvas, drag that in, and then my texture, particles, new process material, a spherical emission shape. Man, my voice is really going. I'm gonna have no voice by the end of today. What am I doing? Oh, I need to change the animation offset. Okay. So here's our particles. We're gonna make explosiveness. Actually, I'm not gonna do explosiveness. I'm just gonna make it be a stream of particles for a while. So gravity, 800, initial velocity, 400. I said 400, 700. That's probably too much, but we'll turn it down. Okay, direction. I'm gonna say no spread, or maybe a very slight spread. Yeah. Okay. Getting there. All right. And then, let's see. Scale. Scale max 2. Maybe 3. New curve texture. Scale it in really quick. Maybe hold it for a little bit. There we go. Okay. Let's do the initial color ramp here. Where's my color? Yeah, color initial ramp. This is probably not going to work, actually. So I'll just use a normal color ramp. Constant color. We're going to start it at this bright color. No. Yes. We started at the bright color. Gee dang it. Start at the bright color. Then go to this yellow. Okay, and then probably just transition into the red. Okay, now we need an angular velocity. And we gotta randomize the initial angle. I guess it doesn't really matter when the angular velocity is super fast, but turbulence, what does that do? No, we're not doing turbulence. Okay. And maybe we'll turn on a slight bit of explosiveness. And we need to turn off fixed FPS. So I have no clue if that's going to look good. So let's add an animation player. Call it default. Turn it on. Set the particles 2D to emitting. Make them emit for maybe 0.2 seconds. Maybe a little bit longer than that. Okay. Looking all right. Let's add a call method track and we'll queue free. So again, this is a nice little trick. It's a completely self-managed particle. So I add it to the scene tree and it turns itself on, it turns itself off, and it frees itself. So I don't have to manage it once I add it to the scene tree. Okay, so let's go to the pit. And we're going to add a resource preloader. Let's do the pit explosion particles, put those in there. At onReady var. Oh, I got to do an onReady var resource preloader. Preloader equals resource preloader. Cool. Resource preloader dot get resource pit explosion particles. Okay. So when the body gets entered here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say var particles is equal to pit explosion scene dot instantiate as node 2D. Add sibling particles dot global position is equal to body dot global position. Okay, somewhat working. I wonder why those visuals are so misaligned. Should I move this area up? I don't know if that's proper. Why is that misaligned? Project, let's see, visible collision shapes. It doesn't seem to detect a collision until I'm well into it. Very odd, very odd. Let's see. Make the lava Z value higher than the players and the enemies. Yes, I have to do that. Can add smoke puff as they disappear. Oh, that's a good idea. Small mushroom. Yeah. Don't I have 2 collision areas? Not for the pit. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. It's like the collision is mismatched, but if it works okay here, then it works okay. Haha. So that particle can probably be bigger. Let's turn off visible collision shapes. Probably make it more exaggerated. Certainly add some screen shake. Let's change the Z value like that was suggested. Probably is a good time to add a node 2D that represents the enemies. So well, I'll call it entities. And when we spawn enemies, I'm just going to add it to the group. So when the spawner spawns enemies, instead of adding this as a sibling, we're going to say get tree dot get first node in group entities layer dot add child instance. Okay, so now it should be properly z-indexed. Oh, and it's... What in the heck? So, entities layer, it's not working for some reason. It's because I spelled it wrong? Cool. So, I've got that spelled right. It's now in front of the tile map, which may actually be a difficult problem to solve. Maybe not. So I have to render the tile map on top of everything else, which may be okay. Let's see. Okay, we'll add some screen shake too when they go in. I think I'm going to change these explosion particles a little bit. Make it a little bit wider. Look at that. Probably put those particles below the pit as well. So I can say render behind parent, I think. Or show behind parent? Where is that? Yes. So it doesn't look like the particles are sitting on top of it. It slid right off. Did that even work? I don't think that even worked. Oh, because I'm adding sibling. I want to add child. Yeah, add child, and then the show behind parent will work. All right. Probably add some particles like the Minecraft style where it's like there's little globbies coming up out of the lava too to make it look a little bit more explodey. Oh no! Dang it. Okay. It's getting there. Could you make the lava emit light? I could. I don't really want to add lighting to this game, though. Although it might look better. Let's see. Let's just try it. I'm just going to do something really quick to try it out. That did not work the way that I think it was going to work. I thought add was going to make it light. Okay, well, let's try this instead. Let's add a point light. Texture. This texture scale is going to suck, but let's do it. Just to get an idea of what's going on. Yeah, so if I made it like a little bit less energy and made it a proper gradient, might look good. I'll play around with that. What is the difference between sibling and child? Sibling adds it as a sibling, so it'll like get the parent of the object and then add the child to that parent, and then add it right below the node that called add sibling. Add child adds it directly as part of the node. Make it more obvious that you died. Yes, there's lots of work to do still. Did you ever play Bobble? I did not. You need the canvas shadow thingy. Yeah, I don't want to do all that, really, to be honest. But I'm going to play with it. I'm going to see if that works. I'm just going to get some food ordered. So we'll do a couple more minutes on the stream. As soon as the food gets here, I will hop off. So let me do something. I want to modify my punch particles a little bit. So, I ruined my demon here. So let's do some new punch particles. Because the punch particles I have are a little bit like iffy. Want to make them look more punchy, you know? Okay. So basically just want to make them lines, which actually, now that I think about it, I should probably make them like this. I don't want to be using a brush that's too thick either. So something like that, and then I'm just gonna make a bunch of different shapes for punching. We'll see how that works. Yeah, let's see. So let's save that as assets effect. And we're going to save this as particles sharp. So if I go to my punch particles. So the texture here like so. And then we want to line the particles, align Y. And we also want to get rid of the angular velocity. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Okay, something's wrong. They're being rotated incorrectly, or differently than I had assumed. So I think I need to rotate all these so that they're facing up. Okay, is that gonna work? Actually, I should probably just play it here. Okay, yeah. And I could probably change the spread now. Oh yeah, look at that. Seems much nicer. Let's see. Yeah, I can probably increase the number as well. And then the scale. Maybe we'll hold the scale a little bit. Okay, yeah. Maybe a little bit too long-lived. Oh, they're already 0.2 seconds. So maybe I just turn down the velocity a bit. I think there's probably too many now. I'll turn it back down to 5. I think it was 5 before. I think that looks nicer. I can add more to it as well. Oh, the problem is that... Okay. When the guys are knocked out, they hide behind the terrain a little bit. So that's because of the Z ordering I did. So we're going to have to fix that, but... Yeah, I think there's probably just a little bit more to add to the punch effect, but... like a central poof or something too. Or maybe not. Maybe I just need to change this velocity min some more so that there's more variety in the punching. No. Comic book particles for punching would be really cool. That's kind of what I'm trying to emulate. Area 2D. Forgot the name of the node. Oh, light. I think you're talking about a light occluder. Const max number of particles. There are 2 times more particles. Yeah, I could do that. That's probably going to be more effort than it's worth, though. To introduce a bunch of logic to change that. But I will keep that in mind. All right, I think it's getting there. Still a lot of work to do, but all right. Well, I'm going to call the stream there. My voice is dying. But thank you, everyone, for hanging out and helping me and giving me suggestions and all that stuff. It's very much appreciated. So, yeah, it was fun. If you want to learn how to make a game in Godot 4, you could check out my Udemy course. The link for that is in the description. You can also wishlist Gunforged on Steam, which is my upcoming game that's also built in Godot. So, yeah, please check those out if you're interested. And thanks again for watching, everyone. And I'll see you in the next stream.